Today I'm taking a tour of F Performance, which is arguably the UAE's best aftermarket performance race shop. As you can tell by the front parking lot, they do a lot of R35 GTRs, but they also build a bunch of other really sick cars. Personally, my favorite are the Nissan Patrols. It is race weekend here in Dubai. These guys are prepping for the half mile and the sand drag event that's this coming up weekend. While all the technicians are currently on lunch break, we're gonna take a look around the shop, and immediately when you walk in, you see a Superleggera with a freaking parachute on it. Listen, pro tip, if you're ever running around the streets of Dubai and you see a Lambo with a parachute attached to the rear bumper, please don't f with it. This 570 SL is actually very special because it was originally a Dallas performance car. It was built in Texas, then shipped here to the UAE. Since then, they've modified it, changed a few things, but it's one of the cleanest Gallardos I've seen in a very long time. If you watch the video about Dubai half mile racing, you'll remember this Nissan Patrol. This is the one that went, I think it was 224 in the half. Absolutely ridiculous to do that mile per hour in something that was never even meant to do 100 miles per hour. And one thing you probably didn't see in the actual video is this custom front end setup. And you have the headlight here with the whole airflow straight into these two massive Garrett 42Rs. This is kind of like their go-to setup on these Nissan Patrol builds. It's the built TB48 with twin Garrett 42Rs tuned on Cyvex. Pretty much every car in this shop is tuned on Cyvex. That's what they're known for. But these things will make north of 2,500 wheel horsepower. I'm told they don't really last long at that power level, but it's still impressive to me. They take an engine that was factory, naturally aspirated, and made less than 200 wheel horsepower, and times that by 10, 12, 14 times the factory horsepower. That's insane. Okay, this is a cool car. When's the last time you've seen one of these GT2s? And I want you to pay close attention to the decal on the front of the car. That says GT2 1000. This Nissan Patrol is the only one in this building that is not an inline six. It's actually a V6. This is the famous Nissan Patrol that was on the Grand Tour that spanked the Porsche 918. My original plan was to take a ride in this Patrol during the shop tour, but obviously you can see they're in the middle of full-blown race prep for the half mile coming up this weekend. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch the ride in the world's most famous Patrol one day soon. Another Patrol, but this one is a true street car. Look at the interior, it's beautiful. But underneath the hood, twin turbo setup. So besides the TE37s and the endless brakes, it looks pretty tame, but still, don't test it. I mean, this thing, again, it makes well over 1,000 wheel horsepower. So you might mess around in your Corvette Z06 and get dusted from a stoplight in Dubai by an SUV. GTR on the hub dyno over here, and another GTR here on the rollers. And then over here, you have the Sand Drag Pro Mod 4,000 horsepower insane trucks that we saw at the Sand Drag Championship. As you can see, the guys are preparing the sand trucks. Once again, this weekend is the finals of the Sand Drag Championship, the final race of the year. And well, they're currently in the lead and they're looking to hold that top spot. Bruh, look at the size of the turbos on this thing. That is unreal. This Audi R8, as you can tell by the intake manifold, is built by Underground Racing. It is a 2R build, which means this thing makes about 2,000 all-wheel horsepower on full kill mode. Next to the R8, you have something that's extremely expensive that I know absolutely nothing about. I mean, obviously I can tell by the badge on the back, it's a Land Rover, but I know these things price-wise have gone insane in the US. And this build is extremely special because look at what's under the hood. Yes, that is a Chevy LSA and a fully restored, Land Rover? I don't know shit about these things. If you do, let me know the exact specifications of this model below. you know, what chassis code and all that nerdy stuff. If you're enjoying the Dubai video series and you want to support the channel, go grab your Dubai Dune Racing t-shirts and hoodies. They are now available at CB Media on YouTube.com. Dude, these things are super freaking cool. Let me know if you dig them as much as I do. This is the new Suzuki Jimmy. I don't even think we have these in the US. The only time I've ever seen one, well, prior to this one, was in Thailand. You see them running around Thailand occasionally, but over there, because of the 300% import duty tax, they're crazy expensive. But here in Dubai, apparently you can buy one for like 30 grand. And what F Performance is doing is, well, they're strapping a turbo to it, because that just makes sense. Check this out. This is very clearly a VR38. Comes out of the R35 GTR. Behind it, you have their CNC machine. This is where they take care of cylinder head porting and a bunch of other cool stuff. This is just a really cool, but very, very expensive machine. The two-door Patrols in white with bronze T37s are hands down my favorite color combo. This one and the black one behind it have, again, their go-to setup, built TB48, factory displacement with twin Garrett 42Rs on Cyvex. Both of these things make over 2,500 horsepower at the wheels and are built to compete in the half-mile events here in Dubai. Look at the front bumper setup. This is custom. You have the headlight with the cutout for the turbos as well. And then look at the front grille. They took this plastic and mounted it over the grill area of the grill to keep air from going inside the engine bay. A lot of people were asking in the half-mile video why they were taping up vehicles before they would go compete in the half-mile. And a lot of people thought it was to keep sand out of the cars, but it was actually for aerodynamics. When you're trying to push one of these vehicles over 200 plus miles per hour, it's very important to be able to be as aerodynamic as possible, even if that means taping up seams on the body to keep air from pushing in and preventing you from going faster. And that is why they designed these front bumpers like this and modify their grills. They're clearly still building this one. Let's look inside. Carbon seat, water to air intercooler, full cage setup, digital dash. Obviously this is going to be tuned on Cyvex as well. And what's crazy is they do 200 plus miles per hour in these vehicles. In this SUV, rowing gears. That just makes it more insane. Like no dual clutch automatics, no sequentials here. They are rowing gears to 220 plus miles per hour in an SUV that was never meant to do those speeds. I want to show you guys something. Look at this. I'm not sure if you can tell. Here, I'll show you. Look at this. What does it say right there? TB48. This is the inline six that comes factory in the Nissan Patrols. It's basically like a really massive physically, and then as far as displacement goes, RB engine. But seeing it out of the truck like this makes me understand why people don't buy these engines and then export them to the US or other countries and stuff this inline six in other vehicles like a Fox body Mustang or a 240SX. This engine physically is massive. It's an extremely tall engine. Also, from what I'm hearing, once you get in that 2,000 plus horsepower range, they're not the most reliable engines. Maybe you're better off with a 2JZ. Like, dude, seriously, look at this. That thing is almost 3 feet tall. That's insane. When I originally walked in, I didn't look twice at this Nissan Gtr. Well, actually, I'd take that back. I did look twice at it because I do dig the white on white combo, rocking the white CCWs. But this R35 is actually kind of special. It's an addition that we never got in the US. A lot of car manufacturers will make very special edition cars that are only available in the UAE. This one, I have no idea what it's called, but I remember seeing photos of it. It has this gold trim everywhere. I mean, it's very much, I mean, I'm gonna be fair, it's not my style, but it's very much Dubai. Seriously, you've made it this far into the video. You obviously enjoyed it. Do me a personal favor, for that algorithm thing, give this video a like, make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you in another video next weekend. Peace.